It's that time again. I found more articles that I wanted to dive into before the end of the year comes around. This one specifically is talking about perfect anime. So let's see what they think. So of course, through my MSN recommendations, because I'm a pleb and use Windows Edge, because, you know, Opera GX kind of ate my last computer, so I kind of stay away from it. But that's not what we're here for. Jeez, I just hit the mic. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. We are here to see what people deem the perfect endings to anime. Like, which ones ended on a high note, which one where every episode hit the mark. So let's take a dive into it and see what this, article thinks. This article is over here on Times Entertainment. Yes, The Times. So let's see what this website deems perfect anime, starting off with Mob Psycho, which I kind of agree with. Mob Psycho did tend to hit every little bit on every episode, and I never was dissatisfied with it. From the creators of One Punch Man, Mob Psycho 100 follows the life of Kageyama, a timid boy with extraordinary psychic powers, and every episode basically is a blend of humor, action, heartfelt moments, etc., etc., and they basically build upon it and show how he deals with his adolescence and everything around with it. I kind of do agree Mob Psycho is a very good anime. Would I deem it perfect? It's debatable. There's only a few anime that I deem perfect, whether you believe my mouse scores or not. There are some that I'm like, these are the masterpieces, these are what I feel. Demon Slayer, on the other hand, why, yes, this was funny and very enjoyable, which we see at the bottom one. I don't think this hits perfection. While, yes, this was beautifully done, this was very basically breathtaking animation in certain parts. And even in the first season, they hand traced certain scenes, then animated over it, which is like amazing. But as time went on, I don't know. Demon Slayer is a good anime overall. I am not going to knock that. It is one of the best shonens I have seen in a very long time. But to me, I don't feel like this is perfection. I don't really feel like that it hits the notes. While yes, you got Tanjiro going around trying to figure out how to cure his sister and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't feel like Demon Slayer would be a perfect anime in my eyes. Now, Vinland Saga, on the other hand, I really think they did well with this. Vinland Saga is a very good way to put historical drama into anime with a bunch of epic battles and everything of that nature. They did very well with the storytelling. It is one of the best storytelling animes I have seen in a very, very long time, and is one that kind of sticks home. And a lot of people agree that Vinland Saga is so good. I really don't have qualms with this choice. This choice is very good, and I know a lot of people might disagree with this, but I do think this is one of those shows that could deem perfection between the character diving, between the backstories, between the delve of thoughts and actual talking and politics and everything else that's involved in this show. I really do think that Vinland Saga could be deemed for perfection. Now, as much as I love Bungo Stray Dogs, I don't think that this one deems characteristics of perfection. While yes, I love every single scene that I put out. I am there day one watching this stuff, and I think they do amazing with the animation, amazing with the storytelling, amazing with how they build these characters and make you fall in love with them. I wouldn't deem it perfect. There are points in time that it's kind of a little lackluster, and there are times where it's kind of like, okay, why couldn't this be turned into, like a season? Like Bad Apple was a great one. And I do think it was a movie, but a lot of people say, why doesn't it become, a season? Like, you could easily done 12 episodes and build upon certain things. But I think they did great with it, but I just don't believe that this is perfect. I don't think it falls into that realm of, yeah, hands down, Bungo Stray Dogs is one of the best and most perfect animes of all time. I don't feel that way with it. While, don't get me wrong, I really, really do love Bungo, and I'm going to be there till the day it's done, and I'll be there supporting it. Some things are a little lackluster, the backstory, which they slowly are building upon for characters, especially in the last season. A lot of the main team they really never built upon, they finally did and gave backstory and understanding behind these characters. Kind of lackluster. Assassination Classroom. While yes, this was one of the most memorable openings that I've seen in a little while, especially in 2015, 2016 era. It was a very memorable opening. I wouldn't deem it perfect. Yes, there's a lot of emotions, a lot of character building. You do feel for Koto Sensei. You do feel for the kids that are in there and dealing with these, and you see the diverse characters. And while yes, the ending's good and satisfying, I don't think this falls under perfect. It's very good. It's an easy 8 out of 10. highly recommend if you want a good action with a lot of comedy and with heartfelt and with some like very seamless moments. It's really hard to explain unless you watch, but I really do think that this is worth at least a watch. I don't think it's perfect, and I don't think every episode hits the mark for this one, but it does hit a lot of marks, and it did very well, and the manga is very good as well, and it's popular for a reason, and was back then for a reason. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't think this one definitely deserves to be perfect. Our next choice, I also agree that while it's good and I really love it and I've been reading it since it came out, I don't think that it's perfect either. Especially with the anime, it's cutting out little pieces here and there, but they do a very good job. Again, storytelling. I will say so far, everything with this, the dynamics, the storytelling, the humor, the action, everything so far has been very well done and very well put together. And I will agree with the article in that aspect that every single one of these shows, they did great blend of all those things, especially background, story building, world building, politics involved. They do a very good job. And like I said, every single one so far, they do very good with that. And when it comes to Spy X Family, Anya is one of the most memorable characters that I think I've come across in the last 5 years. Anya has a lot of expression. And her with Bond and interacting with Yor and Lloyd, I don't know why I say Lloyd or Lore, but her interacting with her parents and the whole journey that she goes on her own little side stories, it's fantastic and it's very beautiful, very lighthearted, and it makes me laugh and feel good every time I read and watch it, but I don't think it hits every note on every anime, and it lacks a little bit here and there, and that's a thing with every anime. Every anime is not gonna appease someone. These are not gonna appease everyone. That's one thing that I want to say with this whole article. Not every anime does it, and not every anime is 100%. Every person's opinion is different. While you might think these all hit the notes, not for me. So far, only Vinland. But let's take a further look and see what else is on this list. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is one that I have a funny backstory with this. So when I was first introduced to it, I knew it was coming out, but my buddy that used to work with me when I was working at the jail, he said, hey, come watch this. There's a brand new anime that's coming out and it's very good. And I was able to predict everything that happened in the first episode. Whether that be good or bad, he thought I really seen the episode, but I didn't. But I was enthralled enough to go home and binge watch the rest of it over the weekend, and I enjoyed it. JJK is a good time. There's a lot of heartstrings pulling, especially in the most recent season. Lots of heartstrings were pulled. The manga, same thing. Lots of heartstrings were pulled. It's very fast paced. The movie was fantastic. The movie, I will say, is a 10 out of 10. Is a very good anime movie. One of the best ones I've ever seen, along with One Piece Red. Those were very good movies, especially as a prequel to JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, I think that's what the name was, but it was very, very good. 10 out of 10, easy ranking for that. Beyond good, the animation was fantastic. The story building and backstory behind a lot of the characters that were introduced into the main story were basically given to you, and you understand where they're coming from and how they got to the way they are in the current anime. It's great. The anime itself, on the other hand, easy 9 out of 10. Not perfect every episode, but I really do think it has a lot of good stuff for new people to watch and get into anime with. And this is definitely one of the gateway, I will say, drugs for people to watch and get into anime with. Number 8, Dr. Stone. I love Dr. Stone. I really do. I love that they bring in real science into this anime to get kids and young teenagers into science to try and build that want and how to do things. A lot of people were able to recreate the soda that they made in a story in real life, proving that this science is real, and they take real world notes and put it into the anime form, which, you know, it's great. It inspires people. It gets people interested in science. Dr. Stone definitely was lacking a little bit in the second season, and it kind of sucks that they did the intro movie showing off the guy that ends up being their captain and guide Senku's ship, but it's still a good show. Easy 8 out of 10. Very good, very enthralling. I hear the anime is a little, or the end of the manga is a little lackluster, but I don't know. I haven't finished reading it. I decided to stop reading it and just go with the anime, to which I'm starting to get a little impatient and might read more, but I really don't think this is a perfect anime. I really don't. I think it's a good 8 out of 10, very good, very enthralling, very solid story, very solid character building, very interesting with how they do the world politics, because it kind of varies on each area they go to. It's not an overall world politics like the other places in other anime, but I really do think this is a good anime. You want to watch a teenager that's beyond his years, rebuild civilization from scratch? Go for it. I highly recommend this. Now, number 9, Erased. Let me tell you the story of Erased for me. So like with JJK, I have a story with Erased. When I fell out of anime, I really wasn't feeling it. I was at my local game store and they were showing anime for a while. They pulled out a projector and they just put it on the wall, especially on Sundays when it's light, like more relaxed and people just sit around and just, you know, watch stuff. Erased came on and I immediately stopped playing it. I just went over and watched it. I don't know what it was, but between the mystery and thriller aspects that grabbed me in the beginning with the time traveling thing that ran at the beginning, it grabbed me and it really brought me in. I would not recommend this as a 10 out of 10 perfect anime, but I would easily recommend, and I have time and time again, to someone who wants mystery anime, someone who wants thrillers, that wants something that pokes your brain and makes you think. This is definitely a good one. The art's fantastic, the story building's good, they hit every note. Now the ending's kinda lackluster, but I think it's great, and I highly recommend this, and they have a manga out too, so go pick that up. And the last one, Saiki K, The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. You know, I kind of agree with this. It's basically a comedic masterpiece, and it does basically give a nice new fresh taste into the high school genre. It's a very good solid comedy. The only downside is I think it's only on Netflix, which, you know, that doesn't stop people from staying on the high seas, you know what I'm saying? But overall, it was such a good thing. You have a lot of standout characters, you have a lot of memorable moments, the quality was very good, they have very good captivating story from it, just very good. Everyone can enjoy it from new to old and in between. I really do think that Saiki K is actually the only other one on here that's pretty perfect, pretty much, like Vinland Saga. Would it be a 10 out of 10 for everyone? Doubt it, but it's a 10 out of 10 for me, and I would recommend this as one of the perfect ones on here. So that's the list that the Times Entertainment gave us. What are your thoughts on these? I don't think there's really a lot of perfect anime. They did give a very interesting list on what they do deem perfect, and that every episode hits the notes. I don't know, like I said, a lot of these didn't hit the note every episode, but a lot of them did hit notes all the time. Let me know what you guys think. Put some down below, comment down below what you guys think would be a 10 out of 10 or a show that hits the mark every single episode. Very curious on your thoughts and opinions. Love you all, appreciate you all, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye!